What if the path you're on isn't a path at all, but a cage you built yourself, one regret at a time? We carry the weight of our past like a heavy chain, each link forged from a missed opportunity, a failed venture, a moment we wish we could erase. We look in the mirror and see the accumulation of every wrong turn, every time we played it safe, every time we listened to the voice of doubt instead of the whisper of courage. It feels permanent. It feels like the person you are today is the final draft of your story, and the ink has already dried. This feeling is the single greatest illusion you will ever face. It is a trick your mind plays on you, a psychological prison designed to keep you safe, but also to keep you small. Neuroscientists call it loss aversion. Our brains are hardwired to fear loss far more than we desire gain. We would rather stay in a familiar pain than risk stepping into an unfamiliar joy. So we cling to the path we're on, even if it's leading us nowhere, because the devil we know feels safer than the angel we don't. We tell ourselves it's too late to change, that we've invested too much time, that we've gone too far. But what if you're not on a path at all? Imagine for a moment that you are not a traveler on a fixed road, with a set destination and no way to turn back. Imagine instead that you are standing in the middle of a vast, open field at dawn. The grass is damp with dew, the air is fresh, and the horizon stretches out in every single direction, limitless and full of promise. The choices you made yesterday, last year, a decade ago, they are not a road. They are simply footprints in the grass, and just like footprints in a field, they do not dictate where you must walk next. They are just a record of where you have been. The field is your potential. The entire field, right here, right now, you can choose to keep walking in the same direction, following those old footprints into a familiar sunset. Or you can take a deep breath, turn 90 degrees, and start walking in a completely new direction. You are not trapped, you are free. The cage door was never locked. You just never tried the handle. The heaviness you feel is not the weight of your past. It is the weight of the story you keep telling yourself about your past. The story that says you are the person who always fails. The story that says you don't deserve happiness. The story that says it's too late. That story is a choice, and you can choose to put it down. You can choose to tell a new story, starting this very second. The only thing that is truly broken is the belief that you are broken. The only road that is closed is the one you refuse to walk away from. This is your liberation. This is your permission to stop measuring your life by the mistakes you've made and to start measuring it by the possibilities that are still to come. The field is waiting. The sun is rising. And your first step into a new life begins with a single, simple decision to believe that you are not your past. You are your potential, and that potential is infinite. But to walk into that new field, you must first make a choice. The most difficult, and yet the most liberating choice you will ever make. You must choose to release the anchor. For years, perhaps for your entire life, you have been carrying an identity that no longer serves you. It is a weight tied to your ankle, holding you in the shallow, murky waters of your comfort zone. This anchor is the story you've been telling yourself and the world. I'm the one who always messes up. I'm not a leader. I'm not the kind of person who takes risks. This story became your shield. It protected you from the terrifying vulnerability of trying and failing. It gave you an excuse before you even started, but that shield has become a prison. That identity has become a cage. And the key to that cage is not outside of you. It is in your hand. You have been holding it all along. Letting go of this old self feels like a death. It feels like you are losing a part of your very soul. And in a way, you are. It is the death of who you were. This feeling of loss is why we cling so desperately, even to pain. Our brains are wired for consistency. We seek to remain the same person we were yesterday because it feels safe, it feels known. To release this anchor is to venture into the unknown territory of who you might become. It is to look in the mirror and not recognize the person staring back, not because they are strange, but because they are stronger, brighter, and more powerful than you ever allowed yourself to imagine. This is not a loss. This is a metamorphosis. The caterpillar does not mourn the loss of its form when it becomes the butterfly. It embraces the transformation as the fulfillment of its destiny. Your fear is not a sign to stop. It is a sign that you are on the verge of something real, something meaningful, something life-changing. The anchor is heavy, but the water it holds you in is drowning your spirit, your dreams, your potential. You must ask yourself a simple, brutal question. Am I willing to trade my future for my past? Are the familiar comforts of my limitations worth the magnificent life I am sacrificing to keep them? Cutting this rope is the ultimate act of self-love. It is not an act of destruction, but an act of creation. You are not abandoning yourself. You are finally choosing yourself. You are not saying the past didn't happen. You are simply declaring that it will no longer dictate your future. This takes a courage that is already within you. It is the same courage that allowed you to get back up every time you were knocked down. The same courage that allowed you to hope even when things were dark. That courage is your true nature. The anchor is just a choice, and today you can make a different one. You can open your hand and let it go. You can watch it sink into the depths, and for the first time, feel the incredible, buoyant freedom of being truly, utterly unanchored. The ocean of your potential is waiting. It is time to swim. And now you are here, unanchored, weightless. The vast, open field of your potential stretches out before you, and the horizon is yours. This moment of liberation is profound, but it can also feel overwhelming. Where do you even begin? The answer is not found in a grand, sweeping gesture. It is found in the quiet power of a blank page. Imagine your life, from this moment forward, as a pristine, empty book. The previous chapters are written. You cannot erase them, and you do not need to. They brought you here, they taught you what you needed to know, but they are finished. Their ink is dry. The pen is now in your hand, and the next page is completely, utterly blank. This is not a void, this is not emptiness, this is the purest form of freedom you will ever experience. This blank page is your domain. It is a space of infinite possibility waiting for your command. It is yours to fill with a new story, your story. What will you write on it? The first mark you make does not need to be a masterpiece. It simply needs to be true. It needs to be yours. Will you write a sentence of fear, echoing the old story? Or will you write a sentence of courage, defining the new one? This page is today, this very hour, this moment. The smallest action you take is the pen moving across the paper. Reading one page of a book that inspires you is a sentence. Taking a 5-minute walk to clear your mind is a paragraph. Choosing a healthy meal over a convenient one is a chapter heading. You are the author. Every single choice, no matter how small, is you writing your future into existence. You are not trying to rewrite the entire book in a day. You are just focusing on the next word, the next sentence, the next step. This is how you build a new life, not with a single thunderous event, but with a series of quiet, deliberate, powerful choices. The beauty of the blank page is its neutrality. It does not judge you. It does not remember your past failures. It does not care about your old excuses. It only responds to the action you take right now. It is the ultimate equalizer. It offers the same pristine opportunity to everyone, regardless of their history. This is your chance to define yourself not by what you were, but by what you do now. The anxiety you feel is not a sign that you are doing something wrong. It is the natural tension of creation. It is the feeling of potential energy transforming into kinetic energy. It is the sound of your soul stirring awake after a long sleep. Embrace this feeling, lean into it. This is what it feels like to be truly alive, to be the active creator of your destiny instead of a passive passenger on a journey you didn't choose. So pick up the pen. Feel its weight in your hand. That weight is not a burden. It is your power, your agency, your control. The world will try to grab the pen from you. It will scream distractions, doubts, and deadlines. Your own mind will sometimes feel like a clumsy hand, unsure of what to write, but you must hold on, protect this page, guard your focus. The first word you write might be shaky, the first sentence might be simple, That is more than okay. That is perfect, because it is a start. It is a beginning, and from this beginning, anything is possible. Your legacy will not be defined by the chapters you wish you could burn, but by the pages you have the courage to fill, starting now. The pen is in your hand, the page is blank. What will you create? With the pen in your hand and a blank page before you, the most critical work begins. This is where your new life is built, not in the dramatic leaps, but in the silent, consistent, daily choices. This is the architecture of transformation. It happens in the design of your defaults. Your life, as it is right now, is the sum total of your default settings, your automatic routines, the unconscious habits you repeat every single day without a second thought. You wake up and reach for your phone. That is a default. You come home from work and turn on the television. That is a default. You face a challenge and immediately think, I can't. That is a default. These defaults are the invisible architecture of your existence. They have built the life you are currently living. To press reset is to become the architect of your own defaults. It is to consciously redesign the tiny, seemingly insignificant routines that shape your days, which in turn shape your years, which ultimately shape your destiny. This is not about willpower. Willpower is a limited resource, a muscle that tires. This is about design. It is about making the right choice the easiest choice. It is about engineering your environment and your habits so that success becomes automatic, so that growth becomes your new normal. Research in neuroscience and psychology is clear. Lasting change is not the product of one monumental decision, but of hundreds of tiny ones that eventually rewire your brain. They form new neural pathways, turning struggle into second nature. Start not with a revolution, but with a micro adjustment. Reset your default wake-up time by just 5 minutes. Use those 5 minutes not for doing, but for being, for silence, for intention. Reset your default first hour. Design it to serve your future, not to consume the world's chaos. Reset your default response to failure. See it not as a verdict on your ability, but as data. Valuable, necessary data that tells you what to adjust for next time. You are not fighting your old self. That is a battle of attrition you will eventually lose. You are building your new self. You are laying one brick of a new habit on top of another every single day. Each time you choose the new default, you are not using willpower. You are casting a vote for your new identity. You are telling your brain, this is who I am now. I am someone who reads. I am someone who creates. I am someone who perseveres. Over time, these votes add up. They win the election. Your self-image shifts. The new behaviors are no longer an effort. They are simply an expression of who you are. The old anchor of your past identity loses its weight because you have given yourself a new, more powerful gravitational pull towards the person you are becoming. This is the profound secret. Transformation feels like a struggle from the outside, but from the inside, it is a process of construction. You are building a new home for your spirit, one habit at a time. And each day, you get to live in it. You get to feel the strength of your new foundations. You get to experience the peace of an environment you designed for your own growth. The chaos of the outside world will continue. But inside your designed life, you will have built a sanctuary of discipline, which is nothing less than the highest form of self-respect. This is how you make your new story permanent. You don't just write it on the page. You code it into your very being. You make it your default, and one day you will wake up and realize the person you were trying to become is simply the person you are. The reset is complete. The new life has begun. And it all started with a single, tiny, deliberate change. And so you build, day by day, choice by choice. You design your defaults. You write on your blank page. And something remarkable begins to happen. The energy you once spent on regret, on anxiety, on fighting your old self is now freed. That energy becomes fuel. It becomes momentum. This momentum is not just about moving forward. It is about building a legacy that extends far beyond yourself. Your daily choices, these seemingly small acts of courage and discipline, cease to be just about you. They become a beacon. They become a signal to everyone around you that change is possible, that a human being can decide to rewrite their story and actually do it. Your life ceases to be just a life. It becomes a message, and that message is your true legacy. It is not what you leave behind when you are gone. It is what you pour into the world every single day you are here. This legacy is not carved into stone. It is etched into the hearts and minds of the people you touch. Your family, your friends, the stranger who sees your perseverance and thinks, maybe I can too. Your transformation gives them permission to transform. Your courage gives them permission to be brave. You may never know the full impact of your journey. The person who sees you choose discipline over distraction and decides to do the same. The person who watches you face a failure with grace and learns to do the same. This is how you change the world, not with a loudspeaker, but with a lived example, not with a grand speech, but with a quiet, consistent dedication to becoming the best version of yourself. Your life becomes living proof of the principles you now embody. Proof that it is never too late, proof that our past does not own us, proof that a single decision, repeated daily, can alter the course of a human life. This is the ultimate reward for your courage. It is not just the success you achieve or the goals you reach. It is the profound knowledge that your life matters in a way that is deeper and more lasting than any trophy or bank account could ever represent. You become a source of light in a world that often feels dark. You become a testament to the resilience of the human spirit. One day, someone will look at you not with envy, but with a spark of hope in their eyes. They will see your strength, your peace, your joy, and they will ask you the most important question you will ever be asked. How did you do it? And you will not tell them about a single lucky break or a secret shortcut. You will tell them about the days, the thousands of days. You will tell them about the morning you woke up tired but did it anyway. You will tell them about the time you failed but learned. You will tell them about the power of a single step, taken consistently in the direction of your dreams. Your story will become their roadmap. Your legacy will be the hope you ignite in others. The reset button you pressed on your own life will become the button they have the courage to press on theirs. This is the magnificent ripple effect of your decision. It starts within you, but it never ends with you. The world is waiting for the gift that only you can bring, not the person you used to be, the person you are becoming. The person you are, right now, in this very moment, choosing to be. The reset is complete. The new path is underway. Your legacy is being written with every breath you take. Make it a story of courage. Make it a story of relentless, beautiful, daily growth. The greatest impact you will ever have on the world begins with the impact you have on yourself. Choose to make it powerful.